Mama Aduni, I cannot stop the words, Kemi cried, her voice trembling as she pressed her hands against her mouth. Every thought becomes truth on my lips. Mama Aduni rushed to her daughter's side in their small compound in Sunrise Village, her wrapper billowing behind her. My child, what are you saying? Speak sense to me. But Kemi could only speak truth now, and the truth was terrible. Baba Tunde beats his wife when he drinks palm wine. Elder Moremi takes grain meant for the poor. Chief Adebayo's son steals from the market women. The words poured out like water from a broken calabash, unstoppable and devastating. Kemi had always been different, thoughtful where others were quick to speak, careful where others were careless with words. But on this morning, everything had changed forever. 3 days earlier, 17-year-old Kemi had been the most beloved daughter in Sunrise Village. Her father, Baba Kahinde, was the village's master drummer, and her mother, Mama Aduni, was known for her healing herbs and gentle wisdom. Kemi herself was praised for her kindness, her quick mind, and her gift for bringing peace to conflicts. You have the heart of a peacemaker, Mama Aduni would often say, watching Kemi mediate disputes between the younger children or comfort those who were troubled. The village of Sunrise Village sat nestled between rolling hills and a gentle river, where the morning light painted the red earth golden, and the sound of talking drums carried news between compounds. Here, in the land of her ancestors, Kemi had grown up surrounded by love, tradition, and the rich stories of her people. Their compound was modest but welcoming. Several round huts with thatched roofs arranged around a central courtyard where the family gathered each evening. Mango trees provided shade, and Mama Aduni's herb garden flourished near the kitchen hut. It was a place where laughter was common and harsh words were rare. Kemi's daily life had been filled with simple pleasures, helping her mother prepare meals of yam and palm nut soup, learning traditional songs from the village women, and assisting her father as he crafted new drums for ceremonies. She was known for her discretion. Neighbors often confided in her because she could keep secrets and offer wise counsel beyond her years. That child has an old soul, the village elders would say approvingly. She understands that words have power. But Kemi's greatest joy was her friendship with Dio, the kind-hearted son of the village blacksmith. They had grown up together, sharing dreams and secrets beneath the ancient baobab tree that stood at the village center. Many expected they would marry when the time was right. The change began on the morning of the Festival of New Beginnings, when the village gathered to honor their ancestors and seek blessings for the coming season. As the traditional ceremony required, each young person of marriageable age was to make an offering and speak their deepest desire to the spirits. Kemi approached the sacred shrine with a pure heart, carrying her offering of honey and cowrie shells. The village diviner, an ancient woman named Iya Agba, presided over the ceremony with her characteristic stern wisdom. Speak your heart's truth to the ancestors, child, Iya Agba instructed, her clouded eyes seeming to see far beyond the physical world. Kemi closed her eyes and whispered her prayer. Ancestors, grant me the wisdom to always know what is right, and the courage to speak truth when it matters most. As the words left her lips, a strange wind rose from nowhere, swirling around the shrine and lifting the dust into spirals that danced like small tornadoes. The cowrie shells in Iya Agba's divination bag began to rattle without being touched, and the sacred fire suddenly blazed higher, burning with an eerie blue flame. The ancestors have heard you, daughter, Iya Agba said, her voice carrying an odd note of warning. But be careful what you ask for. They give exactly what is requested, not always what is desired. That night, Kemi felt a strange tingling in her throat, as if she had swallowed lightning. She dismissed it as excitement from the ceremony and went to sleep peacefully in her hut, unaware that she would wake transformed. The first sign came the next morning, when her younger brother Taiwo asked if she had eaten the last of the honey cakes. Yes, Kemi answered automatically, then froze in horror. She had intended to say no, to spare Taiwo's feelings and avoid conflict. But the truth had emerged instead, completely beyond her control. As the day progressed, Kemi discovered the full extent of her curse. Every question demanded a truthful answer, and even when she tried to remain silent, important truths would force themselves from her lips at the most inappropriate moments. When the trader Baba Whale came to their compound, boasting about his successful business, Kemi found herself saying, "But you sell spoiled grain to villages downstream and keep the good grain for yourself." The compound fell into stunned silence. Baba Whale's face flushed with anger and embarrassment. "How dare you accuse me, girl? Your father should teach you respect." Baba Kahinda was mortified. "Kemi, apologize immediately. What has gotten into you?" But Kemi could not apologize for speaking truth. "I cannot take back what is true, Baba. The words came from somewhere beyond my control." As word of Kemi's strange behavior spread through the village, situations became increasingly difficult. When Mama Folak came to Mama Aduni for herbs to help her sick child, Kemi blurted out, "Your child is not sick. You want the herbs to make your husband more affectionate because he visits Mama Saad's hut when you think he's hunting." The revelation created a scandal that rippled through several families. Mama Folak fled in tears, and soon angry relatives were gathering at Kemi's compound, demanding explanations and apologies that Kemi could not give. Her parents were bewildered and frightened. They had raised a respectful, tactful daughter, and this sudden change seemed impossible to understand. "Maybe she is ill," Mama Aduni worried, feeling Kemi's forehead for fever. "Or perhaps someone has cursed our family." Baba Kahinda was more direct in his frustration. "Whatever this is, it must stop. You are bringing shame to our family name. The whole village is talking about us." But Kemi could only tell them the truth. "I cannot control it, Baba. The words come whether I want them to or not. I would stop if I could." Within 2 days, Kemi had become the most feared person in Sunrise Village. No one wanted to be near her, because she might reveal their secrets or expose their small deceptions. The market women avoided her. Friends crossed to the other side of the path when they saw her coming, and even children were warned to stay away. The situation reached its crisis when Chief Adebayo called a village meeting to address the problem of Kahinde's daughter. "This girl is disrupting the peace of our community," the chief declared, his elaborate robes rustling as he gestured dramatically. "She spreads rumors and destroys marriages with her wild accusations." "They are not accusations if they are true," Kemi found herself saying, unable to remain silent even in this formal setting. "And you are angry because I spoke truth about your son's stealing." The crowd gasped. Such direct contradiction of the chief was unthinkable for a young woman. Chief Adebayo's face darkened with rage. Elder Moremi, the grainkeeper whom Kemi had exposed for theft, stood to support the chief. "This girl is clearly possessed by an evil spirit. She must be cleansed or cast out before she brings misfortune to us all." Dio tried to defend her. "Kemi has always been good and kind. If she speaks truth, perhaps we should listen rather than punish her for it." But his father, the village blacksmith, quickly silenced him. "Do not associate yourself with this trouble, my son. Some burdens are too heavy for love to carry." Iya Agba, the ancient diviner, had remained silent throughout the meeting. Finally, she spoke. The girl asked the ancestors for wisdom and courage to speak truth. They have granted exactly what she requested. This is not possession. This is consequence. "Then you must remove this curse," Chief Adebayo demanded. Iya Agba shook her head slowly. "What the ancestors give cannot be taken back, but perhaps—" She paused, studying Kemi with her clouded eyes. Perhaps she has not yet learned what this gift is truly for. The final blow came from those Kemi loved most. As the village pressure mounted and neighbors began to shun the entire family, her parents made the heartbreaking decision that they could no longer support her. "You must leave us, my daughter," Mama Aduni said through her tears. "Your father's drumming contracts have been canceled. No one will buy my herbs. Even Taiwo is being avoided by his friends. We cannot let one person destroy the whole family." Baba Kahinda, usually so strong and proud, looked broken. "Perhaps if you go away for a time, learn to control this ability, you might return when the village has forgotten their anger." Dio was the final heartbreak. When Kemi went to him, hoping for at least one person who would understand, she found him with his father at the forge. "Dio," she called softly, but he would not meet her eyes. "My son has nothing to say to you," the blacksmith said firmly. "You have caused enough trouble." Kemi looked at the boy she had expected to marry, hoping he would defy his father for love. But Dio remained silent, and his silence spoke louder than any words. "You choose your family's peace over my love," Kemi said, the truth cutting her own heart as deeply as it cut his. "And you are afraid that staying with me will make your life difficult." Dio's flinch confirmed her words, but he still said nothing. As the sun set on the third day since her transformation, Kemi packed her few belongings into a small bag and prepared to leave the only home she had ever known. Her family watched from the compound as she walked toward the village entrance, no one daring to come close enough for a final embrace. At the ancient baobab tree where she and Dio had shared so many happy moments, Kemi paused and looked back at Sunrise Village one last time. The truth of her situation was as clear and painful as all the other truths she could no longer avoid speaking. She was alone, cast out, and had nowhere to go. What would become of Kemi now? The wind seemed to whisper through the baobab's ancient branches. The ancestors alone knew what trials awaited the girl who could no longer lie. As darkness fell, Kemi walked into the unknown, carrying nothing but her burden of truth and a heart heavy with loss. Behind her, Sunrise Village settled into an uneasy peace, but ahead lay a journey that would test everything she thought she knew about the power of words and the nature of truth itself.